Mark here from Sound Matters, and today we are talking about gatefold outer record sleeves. So if you're storing your records to look after them for the long term, there's a very good chance that you're at the very least using a standard outer record sleeve, such as these ones here, to store your records, and specifically your gatefold records. But when it comes to thicker, bigger gatefold records, there are a number of different challenges and issues in terms of storing them in standard single pocket outer sleeves like these ones. Today we're going to talk about a solution to that. So in front of me here, of course, is your bog standard outer record sleeve. It's made from polyethylene and it's about 3mm thick. It's a single pocket design, which means, of course, we've got to pull the entire sleeve off if we want to play the record and appreciate the artwork. And specifically for gatefolds, there's a number of different challenges here. So one challenge in particular is that we are dealing with much thicker album work here. We're dealing with much thicker records. So sometimes it can be a bit of a squeeze to get these records out of standard single jacket outer sleeves, such as this one here. And that actually can cause stretching in terms of the record sleeve, of course, and then cause the seam to split over time. And actually, funnily enough, you can see that this one here has decided to give way on me. So one solution to this, of course, is to go get yourself some sleeves that are specifically designed for gatefolds and designed in a way that enables you to sleeve up the record like this, but then still be able to fully open the artwork. And you can see the sleeve continues onto this side as well. Now, this is by no means the first time I've seen this done, so that you can still open a gatefold but have it fully sleeved. But I would argue it's probably the highest quality version of this kind of sleeve that I've seen so far. And it's from a company called Vinyl Storage Solutions, and they are based in Canada, but they are available increasingly all over Europe as well as North America. So we've covered Vinyl Storage Solutions sleeves before, and they do make very good quality products. These are actually made from cast polypropylene instead of the polyethylene that I demonstrated earlier in the video. And the benefit here really is that it's clarity. So the misting that happens to a sleeve over time doesn't happen in the same way with these kinds of sleeves, the cast polypropylene design. You can see the clear clarity of which you can see the artwork with these sleeves. It's probably plain to see straight away on the camera. In fact, it's actually almost hard to see, other than the light reflecting on this, that there's even a sleeve covering the artwork in the first place. So Vinyl Storage Solutions have released 3 versions so far of these gatefold sleeves, all of which are 4mm thick. So they're slightly thicker than your average outer record sleeve, which gives more of a premium feel, better protects the record, and is less likely to kind of crumple and show disfiguration of the record sleeve, which reduces the clarity over time. But in terms of the different versions, the main difference is whether or not you choose one that has flaps that protect access to the record or not. So this copy of Modest Mouse here, it's a VMP release, has flaps on either side of the access points of this record sleeve, which give extra additional protection to the record, preventing dust, of course, or the record accidentally slipping out of the sleeve. Now, these can be a little bit fiddly to put back in, of course, but the advantage is, of course, you've got better protection of the record. If the flaps do annoy you in any way, or you don't want the flaps, then there is a version without the flaps, of course. So this is exactly the same type of design. You can open up fully the gatefold record, but you've got full access with no hindrance of flaps to the records or any line notes that might be on either side. So that's this side of the gatefold or the other side of the gatefold there as well. The third variation of these gatefold sleeves relates to the size, and if you go to the website and have a look at the version with the flaps, there are 2 different size variations you can buy, because a lot of modern gatefolds are a lot bigger than traditional double album gatefold designs. There's some monster size gatefolds coming out now, much thicker card, that kind of side of things. So if you look at the drop down here on the website, you will see there are 2 different versions. Most standard gatefold albums will be perfectly happy housed in this this design here, which is 318mm to 322, or if you prefer inches, there's the measurement here as well. And then of course there's a larger version here for those monster modern gatefolds that is 324mm to 328mm. So it's important to measure the size of your albums before you choose which one is right for you. Now, most gatefolds, to be honest with you, from what I can see and the ones that are in my collection, are going to house themselves quite comfortably within this standard gatefold size right here. So prior to releasing these purpose-made gatefold record sleeves, the option from Vinyl Storage Solutions was to simply take two of their dual pocket outer sleeves that they're well known for, link in the description below, and stick two of them together. And there was a couple of different downsides to that. So because they weren't designed specifically to house gatefolds in this way in terms of the seam and how it folds, it did cause a little bit of rippling here, which looks a little bit unsightly. You don't get that in the same way with these new designs, so much improved there. And of course now you've got to store the outer or the inner record sleeves with the record rather inside the dual pocket or the secondary pocket, so that you can still retain access to it. With the new designs you can still retain access to the record, but it's still inside the original record sleeve, which I personally prefer because it adds less bulk to what I'm storing. So the record is still fully accessible, but it's still housed inside the original gatefold sleeve. To me, that is a vastly improved design, both from a kind of access viewpoint, but also from an aesthetic viewpoint in terms of how well it handles the folding of a gatefold. So just to finish up, I'm going to demonstrate how to put a record into one of these sleeves. It's really simple to do, and so long as your record's not too big, you're going to have absolutely no problems sliding the record in there with ease. I'm going to use this copy of The Low End Theory by Tribe Called West, which is a VMP Essentials release from a couple of months ago. Really nice release, and I just want to protect it with one of these sleeves. So we're going to slide it into one of the gatefold sleeves that has the additional flaps. Really simple to do. You just simply unfold the entire sleeve like so, and then unfold your gatefold, of course, like this. And then we just need to slide from one side to the other the entire record in. So just open it up very gently, and being careful not to stab anything with the sharp edges of the outer record sleeve, we just tuck that in there and begin to slide through. The only slightly fiddly bit here in terms of inserting the initial record is to make sure we smoothly transition where the seam should be here, where there's a gap, from one side to the next. Now you need to be careful not to stab it too much in the edge to make sure we don't break any seams here, but if you're gentle you will have no issues whatsoever. Just taking extra care, and once you're through, it will just easily slide through to the other side. You can see the seam sits very comfortably here, so we don't get any of that ugly creasing that we had with the original solution using the two separate sleeves. Now we've got these flaps, of course. It's a dual record, this one, so I just simply need to tuck those in. This can be a little bit fiddly, so if the flaps bother you, then I recommend looking into the non-flap based design, but they do add additional protection, as I say, both for the record in terms of slipping out and any potential for airborne dust. The flaps are good for that, but there is the option, so whatever your taste is, you can either have them with or without the flaps. And it really is as simple as that. It just nicely folds, really seamless, got plenty of wiggle room in there with this one, in fact, actually, because I think this is only about maybe 316 to 318 mil, so it's well within the tolerance of the standard size gatefold sleeve that Vinyl Storage Solutions are offering here. And isn't that beautiful? Just the way that it doesn't crease and seam when you open it. You can fully appreciate the artwork, the clarity is there, but I can still easily retain access to the records and of course the additional special liner notes that come with all the VMP Essentials releases. So that concludes today's demonstration. I hope you found this useful and interesting. What do you think of these record sleeve designs? Have you tried anything from Vinyl Storage Solutions before? Perhaps you're already using these sleeves. Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you're new to this channel, of course, as always, it would be great to have you on board as a subscriber. And if you do choose to subscribe, I look forward to seeing you in that next video. Keep spinning.